Good afternoon, friends. I have breaking news to share with you today. You need to be aware of this. Experts say private retirement programs are now beginning to affect the Social Security program, and many recipients are expected to notice changes to their monthly benefits if action is not taken. Congress is now left with only 4 days until a partial government shutdown. My dear friends, I'll be going over all of this, so please make sure that you watch until the end of this video. Also, this coming Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, do make sure that you click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways.
I will join with Leader McConnell, Speaker Johnson, and Leader Jeffries for a meeting with President Biden at the White House. I expect today's meeting to be an important, timely, and fruitful discussion about how congressional leaders, in conjunction with the White House, can meet the immense responsibilities facing Congress at this moment. This Friday, unless both sides act quickly, the federal government will enter a partial shutdown, with yet another funding deadline looming a week after that. Agriculture, transportation, veterans programs, and more will be thrown into chaos this Friday if we fail to extend funding. As I've said throughout the 118th Congress, there is no justification, none, for provoking a government shutdown. Democrats strongly oppose shutdowns, and I know many of my Republican Senate colleagues, including the Republican leader, want to avoid one as well. And we Democrats want to work with them to ensure that a shutdown does not happen. And look, we realize the Speaker of the House is in a difficult position. But he must reject the MAGA hard right, which wants a shutdown, wants to hurt America, and which does not represent a majority of Republicans in the House, a majority of Republicans in the Senate, and a majority of Republicans in America, let alone all Americans. So if both sides work together, if we reject poison pills that can never become law, and if we tune out the extreme radical voices of the hard right, then the task before us becomes much, much easier. Again, these hard right chaos agents in the House do not represent a majority of Republicans of the country. They do not represent a majority of Republicans in the Senate. They do not even represent a majority of Republicans in the House. And yet they are trying to bully everyone else into submission to get what they want. And what they want, make no mistake about it, they say it openly, is a government shutdown, with the harm it will do to millions of people. The chaos we've seen over and over again in the House just goes to show you that the hard right is not serious about governing. The only tactic in their playbook, the only tactic in the hard right playbook is to try to bully the rest of Congress to bend to their views. By now, I expect many House Republicans are beyond exhausted by their colleagues' bullying tactics. It's one of the biggest reasons why the Republican majority in the House can't get anything done.
Private retirement plans like 401ks and IRAs aim to help Americans save for the future. Although these private plans do not directly impact Social Security payments, they could indirectly affect the program's sustainability. Recent research from the Center for Retirement Research at Boston College suggests that removing tax preferences associated with 401ks and similar employee-sponsored retirement programs may potentially address Social Security's impending funding gap. This gap primarily concerns the Old Age and Survivors Insurance Trust Fund, which is projected to exhaust its funds within the next decade. And once this happens, Social Security would rely solely on payroll taxes. The proposed solution in the Center for Retirement Research paper involves repealing tax preferences for employer-sponsored retirement plans and redirecting the resulting revenue to shore up Social Security's finances. The paper notes that tax preferences for these plans reduce federal income taxes by a substantial amount in 2020. So while private retirement plans themselves do not directly influence Social Security payments, Eliminating their tax advantages may help maintain Social Security solvency for a longer period. This would potentially prevent benefit cuts for Social Security recipients when the OA/SI fund is depleted. Critics of the current tax preferences argue that 401ks primarily benefit the wealthy, with data indicating significant disparities in retirement savings between different income groups. So, for example, households in the top 10% income bracket held substantially larger retirement accounts compared to middle and lower income households. However, many middle-class Americans heavily rely on 401ks as a significant portion of their retirement savings. But despite these disparities, tax-advantaged retirement programs have strong support, especially from the financial services and employee benefits sectors. Some experts suggest modifying these tax benefits to ensure that middle-class Americans can save adequately for retirement while eliminating perceived unfair advantages for the wealthy. Also, with just 4 days left until a crucial funding deadline, Congress faces uncertainty over averting a partial government shutdown. Lawmakers had aimed to unveil a bipartisan spending deal on Sunday, but disagreements persist, especially among House Republicans led by Speaker Mike Johnson, who faces pressure from the conservative wing. Senate Democrats voiced frustration over the impasse, with some criticizing House Republicans for the looming shutdown risks. Senators Elizabeth Warren, John Tester, and Joe Manchin expressed dismay over the potential consequences for government services and the American people. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer attributed the delay to chaos within the House Republican conference, while Minority Leader Mitch McConnell emphasized the need for cooperation to avoid a shutdown. President Biden plans to meet with congressional leaders to urge action on additional funding and to address the shutdown deadline. Amidst the funding standoff, questions remain about the timing of Senate action on articles of impeachment against Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, adding further complexity to the weak schedule. Speaker Mike Johnson faces challenges in navigating a historically narrow majority and a restive right flank, which has opposed earlier funding bills and budget deals. The specter of a potential challenge to his leadership looms. Funding for various government agencies expires on March 1st and March 8th, with preparations underway for a potential shutdown. If the government does shut down, thousands of federal employees would be furloughed. Well, my magnificent and most marvelous friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. Dear friends, thank you so much for being part of this community. I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, do make sure that you click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you watch and then comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Thank you, and have a wonderful and very blessed week.